what I'm trying to do by coming through these seminars is, again, I told you at the beginning, I'm trying to do two things. I'm trying to show you how we can take our experience and knowledge of jiu-jitsu as coaches, and we can use that historical record of our own experience or the experience of those that came before us and marry it to a constraint-led approach to help our students produce new behaviors. We have to understand both the mechanics and the origins of what we're trying to do. So by mechanics, we mean, what do we want to do with our body to have specific effects over our opponent's body? And by origins, we mean, why did these things ever emerge in the first place? Why are we doing those things, right? So we're always trying to answer those two questions. So the reason we talk about invariants are these are things that never change. If I want to pin a body, if you've seen any effective pin in any grappling sports where pinning is effective, you're going to see some degree of chest to back contact, some degree of hip coverage, and some degree of shoulder coverage. I say degree because at which angle, at which height, no matter how much weight, can be effective in different times for different reasons. So the reason I'm saying this is if I make a choice from, let's say, the mounted position as the top player, where I am no longer covering my opponent's hips, there must be a reason I'm making that choice. The high mount, right? So what I guess this is defined as bringing your knees up into the armpits. What does this serve by bringing my knees up into the armpits as you see here? Essentially, I've basically done, really in my mind, I've done one thing. I've used my knees to pull the elbows away from the body. The point I make is if we don't understand the function of what we just did, this is going to be troublesome. So we have to ask ourselves questions. Why would I want to do this, right? Now, a lot of people say to start attacking my opponent, but do we really know what it means to attack our opponent from the mounted position? What are we trying to do to create the attack? And if we knew what it was, do our knees do that? The only way that I can make the shoulders normal to what my hips are doing is if I manipulate the elbows first. So if I have my knees up, which clearly extends the elbows, how am I going to move them further? So if I start to turn, but my arms are not doing anything. So do you think I'll be able to effectively do this? What if instead we had the elbows out of the way first? Wouldn't this make more sense? I'm just asking. So we don't have to go into the weeds there, but those who asked the question, I hope that answers. But in the previous game, we were just trying to explore the function of our frames. So the idea is that if the top player needs to cover the hips, cover the shoulders, chest to back, we need to practice not letting our shoulders get covered. So the previous game was literally to give the bottom player an opportunity to experience what it's like to try to keep somebody off of your head and shoulders. If we had confidence that we can do this function, then we know that we could use it in times of stress or urgency where we had to. So the whole purpose of the game was just exposure. What we're intending to do and why we were intending to do it. But of course, in the real game, you want to get your legs back in front, which we're going to do next. Actually, no. Bottom player in the back, but they still have their hands on top player's arm. Top player's chest to chest with the hips covered. Top player's job, the same as it was before. We're trying to get under our opponent's head and connect our hands, or under our partner's elbows and connect our hands. These are the two win conditions for the top player. You can move around the body however you'd like to get here and solve this problem. Bottom player's job is to deny access to the head and shoulders by keeping their hands on the arm that's trying to get there. No matter where the arm goes, you're following around your hands. Now this time, to win the game, bottom player, while keeping them off our head, we're going to try to work to our sides, either side, to get our knees back in front. If we get our knees back in front in any capacity, we win the game. Do you guys understand what I'm asking you to do? Great, let's play. 1, 2, 3. All right, so now we're gonna start doing some retention. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with the bottom player having their knees in front of top player with their feet on the outside. So their feet are not engaged, their hands and knees. Now, bottom player, this game is going to be continuous. Your only job, no matter what happens, is to keep your hands, elbows, and knees in front of top player. Top player, your job is to try to create chest-to-chest contact or chest-to-back contact and lock your hands. I don't care where you lock your hands. Okay, if I'm able to pass my partner's knees and hands and I lock them, even it doesn't matter where they're locked, if they lock any way around your partner's body, to any degree, no matter where you are, chest to chest, chest to back, top player, you win the game. So bottom player, no matter where they go, you are trying to keep your hands and knees in front of and in between the top player's arms. So no matter where the top player's going, you are trying to keep your knees and hands in front of top player at all times. Do you understand? There's no way to win this game, bottom player. You are just trying to keep your knees, hands, and elbows in front of top player for as long as possible. Simple enough? Yes, sir.
Are the legs beginning retracted?
Yes, just literally how I'm starting now.
Got it.
Is how we're starting the game. I have to move this stuff out of the way, create chest-to-chest contact and lock my hands, or chest-to-back contact and lock my hands. It doesn't matter how it manifests. If we fulfill those two conditions as a top player, we win the game. Yeah, so the reason I'm not saying feet is because, again, I just want you to stay connected. If your feet end up back in front for some reason, that's fine, but you're not doing anything functional with them. You're literally just keeping yourself connected. He just stayed just like this. He's trying to resist me from getting to my goal just by keeping his hands, knees, and elbows in front of me. So no matter what top player moves, that's all Noah's doing. He doesn't have to do anything until I try to go get him. Do you understand? Does that make sense to you guys? All right, let's play 1, 2, 3.